I've gotten my faces lined up in a row. Believe I've left no traces of anyone I know. There with the people and out there with the crowd. I've got no final basis to keep my head unbowed. The change is gonna come. It's gonna come. The time has come for making a new place in my head. It's either that or breaking what I've got left instead. There with the people and out there with the crowd. The moment of mistaking, of living a life out loud. A change is gonna come. Oh, it's gonna come. The time has come for making a new place in my head. It's either that or breaking what I've got left instead. There with the people and out there with the crowd. The moment of mistaking, of living a life out loud. A change is gonna come. Oh, it's gonna come.
Yes. I always kind of like that song playing at this time because I'm always like, we've had a nice day of streaming and now we get to have an absolute blast. And that's what we're going to have. Welcome, Arvonauts, to the final stream of Tuesday, August 13th on this channel as we welcome back the amazing Arvocalists. It is Arvocalists in August with Apollo, Ace Attorney. How many A's can we get? It is a great pleasure to have everyone here and to welcome you all to our soiree tonight as we return to the entirely accurate justice system. This is a living reincarnation of how justice actually works. Just want you to know that in case you're curious and you've never been in a courtroom, this is exactly how it works. It's just like what you're about to see. Before I introduce, except ridiculous, before I introduce the amazing Arvocalist team, it is my great pleasure to welcome everyone here. Hello, hello all. Please spread the word about the show and please check us out in the various ways. Please follow us here on this channel. Please check out the YouTube with !ArvTube, the Discord with !ArvCord. Please make sure to check out the Twitter with !ArvTweets. Please retweet this stream with !tweet. Please make sure to check out the website as well for all this, arvineleron.com. On the financial side, please support us at !ArvShop. I need to get a couple of shirts made for our vocalists, I feel like that's something that we're missing. I should talk to them about that and see if they want to do that. I think we should do that. Yeah, really? We should do the Arvocalist shirt. But anyway, right now we've got Adventures of Middle-earth and D&D Infinity and Beyond over there, and we're going to be adding other stuff as well. The Patreon, of course, is !ArvTreon, currently sitting at $3.24, but that really is the financial backbone of the channel and makes it possible for me to pay these folks, not as much as they deserve, but allows me to pay them something. So if you were able to jump on board and support us, that would be much appreciated and would help them as well. And of course, that sub button, we're sitting right now at about 48 subs and trying to get back up again north of 50 and charge back on upwards as we continue to progress into the further into the second half of the year. And since I've already talked about everything before with stuff, I think that I can probably just swing over there now. So I'm going to unmute myself so they know that we're ready to go. And then I'm going to unmute these lovely people. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to head over there right now because as you can see, we are actually ready ahead of time, although actually the pictures are slightly off. Today, Dot will be playing Rob, and that's fine because that's certainly makes sense. And
What?
that's fine. Zach
I
is
didn't
where he
sign
should
up
be.
for this.
We're gonna put
Hold up.
her down by Rob, and then we're gonna put. Let's see. Russ is gonna go up there, and then this is, and then no, that's you're gonna go there, and then.
Okay, hey, look,
We're gonna
Dot
put-
can play me today, but I gotta tell you, if I curse accidentally, you just then yell at her instead. That's all it is, okay?
Yay! There we go. Now everyone's in the spot where they're supposed to be.
That's
But
just how
still,
we're
we're
gonna do
ahead
it.
of time. We're yeah. Rob, you grew your hair out. Yes, a
be-
lot of things have changed.
Grew my hair. Oh, yes, okay.
You know, he's got that a vaguely southern accent. Many things that are there.
Can I just be the Whoopi Goldberg of this view?
this view?
It's just all I want to be in life.
But it is a great pleasure to welcome everybody to the stream. Before I introduce them, though, I just want to say, so my daughter, you probably will not see little Arv next week because she is going on Sunday. We are taking her to camp. She's going to sleepover camp for a week. And this is going to be awesome for her and really, really tough for her mom and me. So we are very much going to be like, we're going to be fine. Have a good time, please. So it's going to be rough on us, but she is looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. She's
Wait,
excited.
Arv, I didn't see your wink to the audience there when you said that. Oh, you actually mean that?
No, I mean that. Very much I mean that. I like my children.
We're taking a vacation.
Yeah, I will completely miss her. But anyway, everyone's like, "Congrats, little Harv." Yes. Doesn't school start back? Actually, for her, she's still got almost a month, Coven. She doesn't go back until the second week of September, which is the more rational way that people
as it should be
do things. There are people in the Midwest when we were up in Gen Con who were already back in school like the 2nd of August, and I'm like, what?
That's a little.
And they're like,
ridiculous.
well, they get out in late May. I'm like, okay, well, that's a little better. But
Atlanta just went back Monday.
well,
yesterday.
I mean, like, look, mid-June to day after Labor Day. How is this so hard? Like, why is this so difficult? I don't. It's very simple. Like
You know, I found out this horrifying thing. There are some countries that they just have school all year round.
Oh yeah, they're trying, and it's just like anyway. So yeah, she's going to be going there. So anyway, she is listening into her favorite show on this channel, which is the Arvocalists, and that is because the amazing people you were about to see and hear are going to be with us for the next not quite 3 hours as we play through some more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I will begin with the gentleman right below me who has not grown his hair out and in fact is back in his proper space, which is with his name underneath him, and that of course is GC Darkside Rob. Hello, Rob.
Oh, it is me this time.
How are you? How's life, the universe, and everything?
When I'm not looking at the stream, it's actually like
a mystery. Who knows?
crapshoot. Which, by the way, crapshoot is not a curse. I'm just saying. It's a term.
Get warmed up.
Which spot in the screen I'm gonna? Hi, Darkside Rob. Nice to see all of you. I guess I'll just get along with it. What is everybody? GC Darkside Rob. Happy to see all of you. Thank you for being here this evening. I am a caster here on Twitch TV. Sometimes I don't know. Do I still stream on Twitch TV anymore? A voiceover person, musician, video editor, photographer, videographer, master of all trades. What is it? No, that's jack of all trades, master of everything. Yes.
Sure, that's how it goes. Definitely.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Don't argue with me. Essentially, yeah, I cast here on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/GC Darkside Rob. You can find my content there. Links to my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Facebook, all that good stuff is on that page there. Check me out all over the internet, and I will be doing some silly voices here on this here show now. Yes, next.
Yes, indeed. In fact, there might be a very busy day for Rob today because Christoph, the defense lawyer who's been implicated, is, I think, about to go maybe getting up on the witness stand himself. We will see how it all goes down. But moving right along, it is my pleasure to welcome Russ Double Glass Guberman, who is here. At least he was there for just a minute. What is up, Russ? How's life, the universe, and everything with you?
It's pretty good. You can call me Six Eyes. That's fine.
Six Eyes, okay.
Yeah, everything is good. Been working, doing some work, filming some stuff. I'll let you guys know if anything good comes out where you can see my mug. And Harry Potter Improv is going to the High Desert Fringe Festival in Joshua Tree in a couple weeks.
Okay.
And doing some stuff at Second City.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, I'm on a Second City team now. I mean, it felt like a very cool thing, and then I'm like, oh, it's like students, but then all of a sudden we were on a show, and then like a celebrity team led by Horatio Sands like went up after us, and I was like, oh, so it was
Wow.
just kind of nothing until.
And because you're 10 times better than the
celebrity show up.
singularly unfunny Horatio Sands, that should work out really well. Horatio Sands, who's never seen a skit that he can't lose it and start laughing in every single
that's
skit.
a generational thing. I think there's just a certain age where they all break all the time.
No, but that's awesome, dude. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
So
Doing a couple shows every month. Should be good. Should be good doing the improvs.
it's good stuff, man. And
They
I don't
need
even
to take the cues from Sid Caesar, who never broke during any routine ever. The original.
It's
You
just
don't laugh at yourself during a routine.
you know what it
Carl
is?
Reiner,
Like, you know who
Sid
never
Caesar
did that?
albums.
Belushi. And there's a reason that he's a comic genius, and Horatio Sands is
That's
Horatio
right.
Sands. But
Jim Belushi, the best.
Yes,
comedian of
Jim
our times.
Belushi. But it is awesome to have Russ with us. And yeah, you can also hear Russ and myself and our mutual friend Story on the show that we occasionally do, probably about once a month, actually, it works out to. And that is the MEP Report, which is a podcast we've been doing since I actually was on a panel at Gen Con, Russ, about Twitch. And the guy who was on with me kept talking about is like, yeah, back in 2005 when I started, I'm like, I also started podcasting back in 2005. So we were back there. This is the guy who wrote the Twitch for Dummies book, like an official, actual, there is a Twitch for Dummies book that apparently exists. I didn't know. But yeah, so I was like, wow, we were back in the day, Russ and Story and me. So anyway, you can check that out, mepreport.com, if you want to hear more. But for now, let us move on to the also incredibly awesome Little Red Dot, who is
Twitch
with
for
us.
Dummies, Chapter 1. Do something else.
Yeah.
Yes. don't.
That's right.
It says
Anything
don't.
Early dummies. But Dot is with us. Dot, how are you? How's life in the universe with you?
Good. It's a very busy. Even post Gen Con, I thought it was going to slow down. It didn't.
Yeah.
You can see like I have stacks of things that need to be played.
Mhm.
But I guess it's the best problem to have, right?
Yes, I think having stacks of things to play is definitely a good problem to have. I think we can all agree on that.
Yep. But I'm Little Red Dot. You can find me online playing lots and lots of games on awesome places just like this, as well as my own Twitch channel.
Yes, and you're going to see, of course, Dot is also in my Masters of the Dungeon show here, and you're going to see, you may see Dot doing something else, and I'm going to need to speak to Dot because I may have let slip the fact that there may be other people who are now aware that you may be seen more actively on this channel now.
Oh, did you?
Well,
did you
it was
slip up?
more
You were supposed
that
to-
other
Are you
people
trying to keep it a
slipped.
secret and you
Well,
didn't?
Yeah, sort of. That was what. Yeah. So now, see, chat doesn't know.
Arv's really bad at keeping a secret.
Chat doesn't know, but the people in
chat.
this question know. So yeah, that's the drill. It's gonna be awesome, chat. Let me tell you, it will be great. Just you wait. But it's always a pleasure to have Dot with us, and it's also a pleasure to have the Esper Genesis star and also long-term now at this point veteran, I guess we could say as well, our vocalist, and that of course Mr. Zach Clay. Hello, Zach. How are you? How's life in the universe, sir?
Greetings. Life is good. The universe, I guess, is doing all right if it's still here.
Seems like it. So
yeah,
far.
I've been streaming over the last couple weeks. I start school next week. New university, new life, crazy schedule, things, work. I don't know if I had started this when we did the last Arvocalists yet, but I am doing a new audiobook now. And it was actually pretty funny because I don't remember talking about it, but I had a free hour a while ago. And I was like, oh, I haven't auditioned for an audiobook in a while. Let me just look and see if there is one that interests me. And I'll just like do a quick one audition. So I go in and I just record it real quick. I send it in, knowing that there's usually anywhere between 50 to 100 people per project that audition. And then 3 hours later, I get a message from the author saying, hey, I just listened to your audition. This is perfect. Exactly what we're looking for. What's your rate? So I'm doing an audiobook now.
Nice. Congratulations.
And
man.
I'm very excited about it. More details on what it is and how it's all going to work once it's closer to being out. But yeah, and then I'm doing a lot of music composition, some writing, streaming. So very, very busy. But life is good. And I am very excited for more Ace Attorney, because this is, as you know, my first Ace Attorney experience. And
oh, what an experience it's been.
Oh, what an experience it's been.
It has been crazy. I am very, very excited to I really look forward to these a lot because they always are a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. I got a little freaked out because I saw when I loaded up the save game of this, I was kind of like, wait, should Phoenix be testifying? Was this like an earlier save? But as it turns out, I'm pretty sure this is right because this is, for those who have been watching before, after the defense attorney, the lead defense attorney, Christoph, or I guess the more veteran defense attorney anyway, has basically been implicated in this terrible crime by Phoenix Wright himself. And this was apparently the only way that Phoenix could figure out to get Christoph implicated was to set himself up, and so end up in the place where we are now. And so as we fire up the volume again,
The plot, she thickens.
the plot is thickening. So, chat, I just need a quick volume check, please. How's the volume for everyone in chat? Can you hear me,
Meow.
the voice actors, and...
I am the judge.
1, 2,
Welcome to my life.
3.
I eat peanut butter and toast.
How are we doing? How's the volume, chat? Chat,
Russ, you're
volume,
muted.
chat,
I don't
volume.
know. Yes. I don't know if Russ knows that he's muted, but he's doing a great
He's either
performance.
doing a great job of pretending he's muted.
Please somebody clip that and make it into a GIF.
Because I know exactly he
Just
did the.
subtitle anything you want on it.
Yes. Russ also works at the local Kabuki theater down there.
I'm just gonna walk up to people at my college and just go like this.
Hey, but Phoenix, you didn't think about that, did you?
Oh, man. It's so true.
Oh.
All right, let's kick it into high
Why are
gear.
you doing that? Why are you asking questions?
Here we go. All right, I came down a little bit, Coven. Is the music better now, volume-wise? We good? Good volume, good volume. Everybody, good. Good. Check. 1, 2. I'm hip. Sounds good. Awesome. All right, here we go. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Hold it! Oh wait,
What?
I just realized that I was playing the wrong guy. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That
that's
would
okay.
be Dot's job.
Hey, Greg.
I'm
you
this
did
guy.
All the voices.
There's not. You can't go back.
I am the only Arvocalist. No,
Here, we'll play the game.
no,
you do
my
the
bad,
voices.
my
Okay.
bad. Sorry about that. You had dinner with Mr. Gavin?
Yes, he dines with me at the Bush Bowl Club quite frequently. We were enjoying a usual dinner at our usual spot, as usual.
Fascinating. Usual?
I always eat at the table closest to the piano.
Ahem.
I see. Where
Apparently
Mr.
you don't.
Smith was sitting.
So, the Pilates and such, the plates and such on the table were from your dinner.
Indeed, the remnants of my meal with Christoph. We dined for 2 hours.
Jesus.
Then Christoph left.
Wow.
After that,
One bite at a time.
Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left.
Hold it! 5 minutes? So, the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time?
That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure.
Objection! Hey, Your Honor. Oh, Mr. Wright, what was it you said? Christoph Gavin and Shady Smith may have met.
I believe I did say that.
Here I was, all nervous about this meeting. And now we hear they just passed in the hall?
That does seem a little weak as a pretense for murder.
Oh, it would be, if that was all that really happened.
Come on, Mr. Wright. What are you hiding this time?
When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress.
Hold it! About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Ms. Olga O'Reilly mentioned?
The plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts.
Uh-oh. Oh, well, internet problems.
It doesn't look like Olga, really. That doesn't look like Olga, really.
It doesn't right now, does it?
Why did it happen?
I don't know. It's the third time. It's the fourth time it's happened today. So I don't know what's going on. I checked all the wires. I rebooted everything. It's just something is not working. I don't know what. And so I have to.
That doesn't look like Olga, though. Olga's wearing a furry coat.
No, she had changed herself. About
There you go.
Hey, the gremlins are at it again.
Yep. No,
Gregory
this
Wilson
is the
is the
fourth time
captain
it's
now.
happened today. So I called up and I spent an hour on this with them, and they of course were like, "Must be the router." I'm like, "Sure, anything that's
Yeah, you
blame
keep
anything other than that." So, but they were like, "If it happens again, call us up." And I'm like, "It is going to happen again," and it did. So I don't have time to do it now, obviously, but I will call them so that they can come on Thursday and get it fixed because this can't happen. Like the modem has been rebooted. I put in new firmware on the router now, and it's got nothing to do with that. There's something screwed up with the internet. So that's great. That does wonders for my numbers. You know, it's really, really top notch. Anyway, we're still on the recording, so I'm not going to.
Great.
Let me
Beautiful.
just get over
Deep
to-
meditative breaths.
Yes, exactly.
Woosah.
And,
Woosah.
and it will reconnect
I
in just a
guess-
minute. And all right.
I guess
so-
I guess we found out what that trap of sorts was made out of.
Yes, lack
know,
of
right?
internet. Oh, yes, the plan. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand.
I just want to make sure that I'm actually back. I don't know that I am yet.
You are back,
Oh.
and nobody left. Everyone's still here. Thank
Everybody, you guys are
you.
the
For being so
jam.
patient. You guys
Oh,
are
you guys are awesome.
the bees.
Thank you. Yeah, so let me just
as the
describe the
kids
chat
say.
quickly. It's the same problem I've been having all day. It's the fourth time it went down. I don't know why. I called them up. I tried to reboot it. I rebooted everything. They sent a refresh to the modem. They blame my router, which is nonsense. I updated the firmware in the router to be sure. So I'm going to have to get a tech to come out because I have lots of extra time to do this with. So anyway, no, it's the whole internet. It's not Twitch. This is something is happening where it just burps basically every couple of hours and the entire internet goes down for like
It's
a
like
minute.
good baby.
Yeah, which is really great for everything. So anyway,
What
no,
you
it's not
need,
Twitch,
Arv,
it's
you
my
just-
internet.
You just need 5G internet in your life.
It's my full internet. Internet's been fine up till now, but I'm getting increasingly angry about it. This is really bad for streamers, as any streamer will tell you. Anyway, back we go. So, on we go. Sorry about that. If it happens again, oh, bless you, Red Lear. Red Lear raids just in time to compensate.
Perfect
for
timing.
Zero.
Oh,
Thank you.
thanks.
You are my hero and the wind beneath my wings. Thank you, Red Lear. Thank you, everybody. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Raiders from Kingdom Come Deliverance. And yeah, I'm sure that it's something. I don't think it has anything
game.
to do with me, but I need a tech to fix it because it's driving me up a wall. Anyway, so welcome everybody. Welcome to Raiders. Welcome to the Arvocalists doing our incredible voice acting stream with Apologist Ace Attorney. And I'm glad you arrived after my internet went down and came back up. If this happens again, and it probably will, maybe in 2 hours, maybe in an hour, hopefully never, but probably will happen again. Please, please, please do not log off. Please just stay with it and it will come back because that's what it does. Oh, God, so frustrating. Anyway, but welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. You guys should follow Red Lear. He's an awesome person, and thank you all for being here. And on we go, voice actor team. Sorry. Dot, you were saying, Olga was saying?
Oh, yes. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. Then their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card, and the trap would snap shut.
That was the bad guy, I think, saying, "You swapped the cards." Right.
Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Yes, a harmless prank, in essence. It was by a quirk of fate that I happened to discover it.
A quirk?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card.
And the card said, Coven Guy with the resub for 2 months. Thank you, Coven Guy. Thank you, Coven, for the resub. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
That's what we found in our actual pocket.
We actually found a resub right there. Thanks, Coven. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. The card she planted.
Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed? Where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle, like you do.
How do you, like, what? It's like, this will be fast. Like, what?
Wraps up into a tail.
What?
But this is in a bottle.
Right.
An empty bottle of grape juice.
Thank you very much, Coven. The murder weapon?
Bottle. Yes, I rolled it up, told you, and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see.
Sigh.
A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived.
You love that line.
That sounds like terrific drama.
A card inside the murder weapon? That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look.
Mr. Wright, the poker head of courtroom number 3 approves of this battle of wits.
We're losing the judge, people.
Yeah, you lost them a while ago.
Please revise your testimony with this new information.
I discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card in the bottle.
Hold it! Who disposes a card? No, why in the bottle? Okay, good, Apollo. That's what I was thinking.
Okay. I perceived my opponent's intent immediately. I'm used to entrapment, you see. I knew what was coming.
Oh, Merry Christmas. So you struck first. I like that.
Oh, God.
I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me.
At least when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket, they don't. This is a good point.
The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police.
Hold it! You made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct?
Exactly. Cell phones don't get signal down in the hideout.
Was anyone else on the first floor at that time?
Not a soul. It was the middle of the night, after all.
I was the middle of the night.
I was the night. So there, in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. It didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone. I'm a good guy, remember?
Yeah.
When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead.
Hold it! And when you returned, the victim was already...
Dead, yes. I admit, I was a little startled when I walked in.
A little?
Exactly.
He was bleeding from his forehead, after all.
I guess I'd be startled too if I walked into a scene like that.
That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin.
Hold it! Could you explain why you called Gavin Newsom, current governor of California? No. Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin?
I'd obviously gotten involved in a rather sticky affair.
That's a good point, Gavin.
And I figured Kristoff's law offices would give me a friend rate for my defense fee.
And Gavin Newsom's a dreamboat. No, I'm sorry. Glad to hear you intend to pay.
Oh. I'll pay. Dramatic pause. Kristoff, it was I who got you involved, after all.
You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend.
Wow.
Quite high.
Someone's a little perturbed.
Salty, salty.
Is this the truth that Mr. Wright was talking
I'm
about?
only at level 1. Justice, you know what you have to do. He's lying. Expose him. Now.
Yes, sir. I have to think. What's Mr. Wright trying to tell me?
That's not what I meant when I said expose him. Sorry.
The truth has to be in there somewhere. All right. Well, the way to figure that out, I think. All right, so we already know about this. So what I need to do is I need to look at the bottle. I need to look at the bottle.
The bottle.
Is there a card in it?
That's exactly, yeah. Thank you for the follow, Glowing Gold. Welcome to the Arvonauts.
I can see a card in the bottle.
Grape juice. How long has it been since I drank grape juice?
That did not sound like what I thought that sounded like, Zach, but I'm going to let it pass.
Let's see. Question is, how do I... All right.
You spin it. Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Ooh. Maybe the back side?
The bottom.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, the back side of the bottle.
What?
The bottle is completely empty. What?
Which means somebody took the card out? Or it wasn't the same bottle?
Maybe you do that. Maybe just provide that as evidence if somehow.
At the oh, that he's lying because the... Okay, good call. Yep, that makes sense. So, let's see. We get to this. Trap. Dispose of the card in the bottle. Really? In that case... Objection! Mr. Wright, if I may...
Yes?
I've examined the bottle, and although Club Penguin Veteran has become an Arvonaut, I don't see any card in the bottle.
No.
What? Mr. Wright? Surely...
I was really confused for about
remember what an ellipsis is. Remember.
and don't call me Shirley.
Surely the ... isn't all you have to say for yourself.
Wow, what an attack on one of your fellow...
I can say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however.
Huh?
Beep.
Perhaps a 5th person came and took it out? Oh, and a 6th person could have helped.
Ooh, do I sense a little bit of not very well-concealed sarcasm from Kristoff?
What? Sorry, I got carried away.
Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client.
My apologies, Your Honor. You are very bald.
Excuse me, there are several bald people in this courtroom, Your Honor.
You're not
I will not have you disparaging our investigation either.
No, you are just not an attractive man.
He looked inside that bottle. There was nothing.
So what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again?
Not hoodwinking!
Or did the card just disappear?
In any case, please continue your cross-examination.
I shall do
Please.
so right after I thank Gigafrost for resubbing. Thank you, Gigafrost. Way. Welcome back, Gigafrost. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I saw Gigafrost earlier today on GOG as I was doing some Pathfinder Kingmaker. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That's
Gigafrost.
a cool name. Gigafrost.
It really is. It's like I feel like that's
It's like a Pokemon.
It's the 5th level spell, right? Like that's.
I was thinking he sounds like a bad reboot character. You know, it was like hexadecimal. It would be right up there with that.
Gigafrost, exactly. Also,
Gigafrost,
yeah. All right, so please continue. Yes.
I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence.
Oh.
Dang.
Wow.
Good luck.
Shush. Push him harder, Justice. Break him.
Break him.
Break him.
4 years at a higher level college for that. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO.
KO.
Ugh, why do I get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore? Gee, what was your first clue, Apollo?
Why do I get the feeling we're not talking about the case anymore?
Right. Okay, so I need to.
That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in the photograph.
All right, so I guess maybe I need to press him harder on the bottle thing. I'm gonna press him on this again.
Lit.
Why in the Oh no, we already did this. Intense. Yeah, blah blah blah. All right, so
the girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. You can't look at the cell phone history, can you, to see if he actually called the police? I'm guessing
you
up,
could.
Oh, wasn't there something on the back?
Yeah, there was.
That note. Wow, the batteries are held in with a piece of tape. You should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it, or he just doesn't care.
I was wondering about something. The card is hiding in that back of that damn cell phone. Sorry, I cussed. I apologize. I'll put a nickel in the jar.
I wonder. Yeah, I wish I could like open it and like instead of just being like.
No, we're in examine. I see. Yeah, there's no additional.
Yeah, it just says the same thing.
Yeah, the same thing. Interesting. Seems so precarious.
I mean, maybe like maybe the argument would be something about. Because obviously he wants us to call him on something else. Like that's
a different topic. Maybe it was that when he returned, he was streaming.
Blood streaming from a cut on his.
Oh, there's a picture of him dead.
Wait a second. There's no cut on his forehead.
I don't remember.
All right, I'll look at the picture. Hold on.
Oh, there is a cut on his forehead. I think that's what that is.
Yeah.
Either that or he's the Avatar.
Yes, exactly. Well, but the only other thing I just thought of was, didn't he say that there was no cell signal down below? So he said that's when I made another phone call. So we went back upstairs.
Oh yeah, there was no cell phone signal. Yeah, so we would have to come back downstairs and then go back upstairs.
This is a chance. I don't know. Objection! This is not right. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? Generically, which means I didn't get that right.
I'm not sure I follow you.
It clearly contradicts the, I thought...
You don't sound very sure, Mr. Justice. Objection overruled.
Oh, your bar went down.
I don't think that won me any points with the judge.
That's when I made another phone call.
Hmm.
Didn't he say,
Because I discovered the trap. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. Discovered the trap. Girl was knocked out cold. Smith was uncontrollable. Have to call the police. Shoot, I didn't mean to do that.
Press him harder.
right, let me see. Smith's autopsy report. Okay. Estimated time of death between 1:45 and 2:15 a.m. Cerebral hemorrhaging resulting from blunt trauma to forehead. Death caused by single blow to forehead. All right, that kind of checks out, I guess.
Why is his hat on in this picture, but then in the other picture it isn't? What if you have to like hit him on the head and take off the hat? Like how can you hit him through the hat without bottom?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
There's
true.
a discrepancy.
How did he get the cut? But what do I present? Pretty hard, Coven Guy, I would guess. But I don't know what to present, though. Actually, you know what? All right, maybe. So, the cut. So what if I present... I don't know if it's that one or this one, but we'll give it a shot. Not this one. Where are you? This one. Objection! Mr. Wright, if I may.
Yes.
Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene. It's the only one I got. Not much of a photograph. Never seems to say a lot. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. Yeah!
Nice.
Sup?
Nice.
Oh, very nicely done.
I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead.
A good point.
Oh
Oh my god, it's a good point. No blood.
Justice. Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it.
Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court?
I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put the hat on his head.
Oh, jeez. Eh?
You? E-I-O-U? And sometimes why?
You put the hat on the dead man's head?
Put the lime in the coconut? Who put the bang in the bang?
He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police, when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view. Shining bright. Just like in this photograph.
That's a little weird way to describe the...
It was inspiring to me at the time, Judge.
All right, whatever floats your boat. And
I picked his hat up off the floor and I put it on his head.
Why'd you do a thing like that? Oh, he's back. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know he was back. I didn't wake up in time. I'm sorry.
Oh my god!
All right. Oh, it's okay.
Oh, freaking doppelganger over there. What? What? Why? Why'd you do a thing like that? You're a freaking attorney.
All I can say is, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, he said he's sorry, Your Honor. Everything's
But that's the only thing I touched in the crime scene.
So, Ms. O'Reilly didn't see it? It being the victim's, his head.
I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head.
You're not the only one. No, sorry. Here we go again.
I was waiting for someone to be like, we are all witnesses!
We are all witnessing his head.
Mr. Gavin?
Ahem. Ahem. Pardon. It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case.
Wow.
I'm just questioning why you're trying to undermine your own client. It's a little odd. But I'll just refrain from saying that and go,
Hey, he's still our client, isn't he?
I believe that's enough of that.
Mr. Gavin?
This witness's testimony, and I say testimony like testimony, is more like a travesty.
So it's not a travesty, because that's in air quotes too?
So it's all hypothetical.
Actually, my whole sentence is in air quotes. I am a walking, talking, smiling, beautiful haired air quote. It's It's riddled with lies.
Just everybody, lies.
Lies. Musical theater.
From all parts of the lies.
Cats. We're all deranged. Anyway, I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge.
Wait, sorry, what? Let me try that sentence one more time. I got to attorneys. I was like, nope, don't know what I'm saying.
Air quotes.
Attorney's badge. We don't need no stinking badges. I'm beginning to see how you.
Nope, one more time.
I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago.
Man.
Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Christoph. I never knew.
I believe it was you who threw the first stone. In glass
Mr.
houses.
Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never.
Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here.
Eh?
When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it.
Yes.
But when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well.
Wait. The reason was to hide the card that I put in the bottle on top of his head.
It's like
King
his
Frost
forehead.
yeah, where's my lies in chat? At chat, every time that happens, you'd be like, lies.
Hey, Arv, I sent you a quick message in the Zoom.
In the Zoom?
A reason?
Hold
A reason for these lies?
Lies.
I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's why I'm like. Lies. Oh,
Truth. Lies. I think it may just be slightly squished.
The truth.
Oh yeah. It is because the way to sort of
Okay, if it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. I just thought I would let you know.
Yeah. Let me see if I can make one more fix on it. The problem
Judge's
is
head is looking a bit like that of the eraser on a pencil.
it is more stretched than
It's a
it
bit
should be.
coneheadish, yeah. Yeah.
It's like.
But see, the problem is, so if it doesn't quite.
It's perfect. Leave it.
Actually, you know what? No, you know what? Actually, because it's kind of, what do they call that? Reverse letterboxed? I don't even know how you would call that.
Yeah, it's usually, I think, pillar boxed.
Pillar box? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a term I haven't had to use in so long that that doesn't even exist anymore.
Lies. We totally need that emote. Oh my god, that is the best. Okay.
Yeah, that looks right.
All right, that's better. Thanks, Rob. All right.
The double glasses help you see right through them.
Yes.
Okay.
Russ is like reverse they live. He just sees dead corpses again.
Oh, that reason is right here.
He's gonna pull the card out of the phone.
Your cell phone,
Oh,
yeah.
that-
Which we
I called it, didn't I?
That's the only thing about Ace Attorney is that so many times you're like, you see it 20 minutes before
Steps
anyone else. You're like,
before, yeah.
come on, man. Like,
That night, recall that I spoke with defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation.
Lies. What's this?
Now that we're all here, I see no reason why we're heading back for the court.
We didn't leave.
We are met, and you will all listen.
Now that we're back from the loo.
Right. But I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court.
You better should.
here we go.
Oh, Christoph, I seem to be in a bit of trouble.
What's this? Game not going well?
Something like that.
That gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good?
He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him. Hard.
You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china pate?
Yeah.
Pate.
Pate?
No, not pate.
Pate. That china pate?
It's pate.
Oh.
It wasn't you, was it?
Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that.
Ah, the moment I've always hoped for is here at last. Wait, what?
Bone china plate?
No, pate.
Pate.
A kind of porcelain, very smooth and shiny, and not plate, but pate.
Pate.
I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead.
Hey.
I'll resemble that remark.
The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead.
As I have
That's
just now
impossible,
done.
Judge.
I
Everything's indicating your forehead.
Wait a second. Something's not right about that phone call. So, after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club?
Most certainly.
Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china pate?
Oh, that's right.
The judge gets it. Yes.
The judge finally woke up. Cool.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
That was when I became my good friend in a different light.
King of Frost. Balding.
Phoenix, you lie. I'm beautiful in every light.
Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. When I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Yes. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage had been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head?
How could I overlook something so perfect? No. So, this is your reason? Eyes. Reason why you put the victim's hat back on?
Mm-hmm. Your point, Mr. Gavin.
It's come down to this, has it? Phoenix Wright?
That was a Phoenix Wright.
Order. I will have an order of 2 pistachios and more things, even though that's a very small meal. Mr. Payne.
Yes, there's a service charge of $5 if you do it through a post. Yes,
No.
Your Honor.
We're using Grubhub. I've told you this, Mr. Payne.
But I only have a seamless account.
I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear Defense Attorney Gavin's testimony?
Called it.
Oh! Ahem! Well, as suppose I am still the prosecutor, I
Very well. We'll break for 10 minutes.
don't believe I answered your question.
After which Mr. Gavin will take the stand for a cross-examination.
Oh my god, it's a cross-examination.
We'll examine his cross. Are we all clear on that?
Crystal clear. I'll get my cross ready, Your Honor.
Very well. This will be the final recess for the day.
Final recess.
Hooray! I'm gonna use the slide.
Oh.
Here we go. Oh, wait, you gotta pull up. Wait, I need the sound effect. Come on. We can do it.
So much for being ready at the start of this.
I know. Sound effect.
April 20, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
And
Third floor.
there it is.
Underoos.
Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Who'd have thought today would turn out like this? No idea.
AI.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
You
a wizard
nailed
shows
that
up.
one.
Oh, this. Okay, so this actually I think is Trudy, and I think Trudy becomes his like assistant later on. So we will give this to.
I thought this
Dot.
was Professor Layton's assistant.
Yeah, I know, right? We will give this to Dot, but just give me a second so I can look up.
I was about to say, who is she? What's she all about?
So
You gotta do a voice like this now,
Her
though.
prepared spells are magic
Okay,
missile.
so she's been smoking a little too long.
not Trudy, but Trucy Wright. She is a professional stage magician who also serves as an investigative partner for the lawyers in the agency. And she is Phoenix Wright's adopted daughter.
Her special ability is the prestige.
Yeah, I still
So, what?
Hello, sir.
Oh
Please.
God, you really are gonna do
What?
She's like 16. She's like,
I've been smoking since I was 13. What do you want?
I've seen things out there, let me tell you.
Okay, all right. If she's young,
I'll
she's young.
turn a
All right.
trick. You're not the kind you think either, all right?
Hello, sir. Please pick a card.
What's all this about? Is this one okay?
Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You need a trump card to make it.
No a trump card?
A trump card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. Wait, is that me?
Yeah.
No, that's all. I'm done.
An ace. Where do I remember that card from? The hell is that thing on it?
Blood. God. Mr. Smith's hand was 3 aces, and Mr. Wright's 2. It's 5 aces in all. Oh, it's true. I haven't seen the 5th ace. That was cheating, I swear to you.
The missing 5th ace.
Whoa.
Wait, this blotch of red. This
Tiny little blotch of red.
Blood, Barry, blood.
No, it's borscht, you fools. Borscht.
Grape juice.
You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth.
I love this voice.
My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it.
I like the idea that she actually faded out of view there.
Yeah.
This bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth?
Usually not.
Borscht.
I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl, I'd seen her recently. But where?
That girl.
That's when I made the connection. I was an absolute jackass. Aha.
Aha.
Bloody Ace added to the court record. That's going to be my next band's next
Bloody
album.
Ace.
Bloody Ace.
That's our punk band's name.
Exactly.
Yes.
Bloody Ace. Bloody Ace.
Bloody Ace.
April 20th, 2:45 p.m. Sorry, go ahead, Dot.
Oh, no.
You can do it.
Oh, no. You do it.
April 20th, 2:45 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Oh, this is court number 2.
Court will now reconvene. Defense Attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand?
Absolutely. Goodbye.
Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. Will Mr. The witness state his name, occupation?
Is this farce necessary, Your Honor?
Believe me, far stranger farces have gone on in this courtroom.
You should have seen the time we cross-examined a parrot. It happened.
Walk.
Fine. Walk! Fine. I'll play along.
First, there's one thing we need to have made clear.
One thing.
How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat?
By secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Smith was bald. Yes, Apollo, try to keep up.
Code term.
Forgive me, I have a thing for men with bald heads. No, sorry. Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow's head? Your Honor seems to, have an inordinate interest in it.
Wow. Summary judgment. You will be brought to jail and executed
Gaslight.
immediately.
Are,
Objection!
does your own forehead feel inadequate, Judge?
Oh, Phoenix is back.
I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Wright.
What do you think you are doing, Wright?
Wow, things sure look different from the other side. You know what I mean, Apollo? Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim wore the hat all night, never once taking it off except for that one time.
That one time being the instant he was hit. When he was like...
Oh.
When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to be at the scene of the crime, at the time of the crime.
In other words, you'd have to be the real killer, is what you're trying to say.
I can't wait to see them actually get below the surface of this guy. Like, I can't wait to see the...
Turns out
the
he's
visual.
bald.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
That's
wearing
clearly what's going to happen. Oh my god. Japanese sight gags for the win. That's what they love anyway.
Not bad, Apollo.
Oh,
yeah, not bad at all. Okay.
I'll let him do that.
Mr. Gavin?
I'm
Oh, here we
afraid
go.
I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
Here's the big reveal.
What?
You're still muted. You're
Still muted.
What?
Here you go. Oh, I assure you, I had the noblest of intentions.
Excuse me.
Lies.
Lies.
Really, Arv? Really? You can do that, but I can't?
I just said bull, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Also,
Yeah,
lies.
Bull pie.
I love the chat keeps doing lies.
Can we get a
This is
second
the
opinion
greatest
on
thing ever.
Objection.
Oh my God.
Objection?
Oh, man.
I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright.
Oh, what a liar.
Nice.
Yet, I'm afraid in the current situation, I see little reason to hide anything. Very well. Allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night.
Wait, thank you.
Finally. Goodness. God on a breadstick. You may begin your testimony.
That would be like the worst swear the judge has. Like, God on a breadstick. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Tell us, how were you involved in the events of that fateful night?
Witness testimony. That fateful night.
Fateful night.
The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club.
It was kind of weird, but we're back in the club.
The beat of the dance floor. Oh, I can't escape it. It's just, it's so enticing. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout. That's what? With a Y.
Yeah.
It must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appears in the photo. A bald head. So bald. An unconscious girl, and Wright, holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that was not the best place for me to be at the time, and so I left.
So wait, the guy leaves.
And that's the end of the story.
Comes back, is like, leaves again. Wright calls him. He's like, oh, did you rob
This seems like a bad idea. Let's go. That's when the call came from Wright.
So, you witnessed the murder then?
For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed.
Yeah, and he left the scene of a crime. Exactly, Erdno.
Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you are on Mr. Wright's defense team?
We left that behind, Judge, at the 20-mile marker, all right? We're way beyond now.
Oh, he's angry now.
Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client.
What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness stand after all.
Taking a stand. You look like Elsa.
You don't look like Kristoff.
Confess, you're actually a princess with powers.
That is the sweetest thing anyone has ever said to me. Thank you.
So you are Mr. Gavin. And you had to testify as you just did. You had to tell them you saw the...
Up.
Here we go.
Yay! Internet down again.
Woohoo! What do we have to do?
Just have to wait. And you are going to have to head to bed in a minute.
Okay.
Love.
Great. Just when it was getting good. Just gonna try to draw all of you in anime as this type of drawing, but I immediately failed when I did your hat, so I decided not
Really
to.
failed you did my hat.
So I'm doing me instead.
Okay. Well, good news is that I've reconnected. The bad news is that the Zoom call is not working. So I'm gonna have to do a new Zoom call. This is really fun. Let me tell you, this is great. There's nothing I like better than having to troubleshoot internet. And in answer your question, I have Optimum Line, which has been fine, except the last couple of months it started to get a little bit more erratic. A couple of weeks ago, the internet went down altogether. Actually, I want to say 2 months ago, actually it went down when I was doing an Arvocalist stream. And now it's today it has now gone down 5 times. So
Hello, Vietnam.
Okay.
How's it
Yep, new Zoom call.
Watching videos.
5 times is a whole lot, Mrs. Dunsel. It sure is. 5 times is 5 times too many. They are not going to be happy about the riot act I'm about to read them after the stream is over. They are not happy. And the fact that the guy was like, well, I can't troubleshoot it because it's not a router. I'm like, please don't blame the router. Please don't blame the router.
Yeah, don't blame.
Don't do the thing that is. Please stop. Something is going on with their line, either right outside the house or it's happening with their defective modem. But please.
Mm-hmm.
No need to continue the charade, sir. My router is top notch.
Lies.
Objection.
Lies.
And it's the same. It's the same router I've used for the last year and a half. But suddenly that modem has gone south. Sure, I believe that entirely. All right. Well, just give me a second whilst I. Whoops. Whilst I get everyone recaptured.
Give you a second while you whoops. I whoop.
Yeah, well, I whoops.
And I whoop.
While I get everyone back in play. I am very sorry to everybody. My internet's been great until today, other than the fact that it's like 2 months ago, my internet went down completely, but that was a broken line that went down for everybody. And then supposedly that was
Don't worry,
fixed.
Arv. I'm very mad at you.
Good. As long as someone's mad at me, that's feels like home, really. No.
Welcome to the internet.
Okay.
And now you understand Jewish guilt.
There we go. Now it all makes sense.
Now it all makes sense.
All right,
If you don't feel bad, that means you haven't remembered what you did wrong.
Exactly. Okay, so exactly. So there we go. All fixed, and yeah, that's right.
Yes, that is right. That is Phoenix right.
I am going to yeah, they are not going to be happy when they hear from me. I'm not happy. Anyway, sorry everybody. On we go. I think this is Phoenix with you had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime.
You had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window.
Mr. Wright?
You had to say that. Because that was the only probable window of opportunity, right, Apollo?
Oh.
Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm always prepared.
I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is getting weirder and weirder.
You're right. It's very weird.
Cross-examination, that fateful night.
That
He's like the
fateful
final boss.
The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club.
Hold it! That man, you mean Mr. Smith?
He was different from the other customers. His aura, shall we say.
You talking about his bald head again? Because
I knew lies, aura. It was his chakras. No, sorry. I knew he was a serious poker player, but it was more than that.
So then you knew the true nature of your client's job.
Of course. But I also knew he wasn't engaged in gambling, which would be illegal.
Illegal.
Well, it makes sense that he'd know. They were friends, after all.
Worried for my friend, I returned to the club. You see, I feared this Mr. Smith might be someone coming to settle an old score.
I see. What happened then?
Well, I took a sip of my miso soup and... No, sorry, that's not what you meant. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout.
Hold out! The little window. You mean the one used to keep watch up the stairs?
Yes, a relic of the ancient past. The Black Marketeers used it, I believe.
Why did you go through the trouble of peeking in through the window? Wouldn't it have been easier to just open the door and go into the room?
I don't like to do anything easy.
Then I wouldn't be able to admit that I was the murderer. I mean...
I didn't want to upset Wright, you see.
Upset Mr. Wright?
Yes. What if my fears had been unfounded? I'd be walking in on their match. Bad form, to say the least.
So far, everything he's saying makes sense.
It must have been right after the murder took place.
Hold it! How do you know it was right after the murder?
Really, no need to shout, Justice.
Go wait for the translation. Answer me now.
Dirk! I was just getting to that part in my testimony.
Ah, there he is, the coolest defense in the West we know and love. Even when you're standing up there on the witness stand, some things never change.
I'm afraid, Dirk. I was afraid you'd changed too. Right? But you haven't. You and that overbearing personality of yours.
With friends like these, who needs enemies?
I know, right? The victim was dead, as he appears in the photo.
Hold it! By photo, you mean the second photograph of the crime scene?
Precisely. You see, he wasn't wearing his hat then. I saw his head. Beautiful. When he was dead.
When I was fed, I knew I said that I...
And well read. And then I went to bed. Sadly alone. Never mind.
And then Mr. Wright came along and replaced his hat.
Can you describe the scene of the crime for Russ, and Russ only?
Oh, yes, I will only describe it for Russ.
Thank you.
Are there any Russes in the proceeding?
Just,
Auditorium. Sorry, words. Anyway, a bald head, an unconscious girl, and the weirdest game tarot ever played. No, sorry. And Wright holding a bottle in his hand.
Hold it! Those were the only three at the scene of the crime?
Yes, as far as I saw, at least.
Whom? Pain.
And we're back
Pain.
where we started.
Dead. We're back where we started. The killer was the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? But why? For the love of all that's holy. God on a breadstick as my witness. Why didn't you talk to the police?
2 reasons. 1, because I'm just too pretty. No, sorry. First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend.
Look at his smile.
I know.
Mm.
Objection! There must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime.
Justice, I just said I saw no one. Not a soul.
Do not, objection!
Are you dense?
But that goes against what Mr. Wright said.
Do you even defense, bro? Ah, yes. This mysterious 4th person who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose.
Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin.
Oh, shut up, Wright. No. Let me pose a question then. Tell me.
Tell me.
Do you like to dance with the devil in the moon? Sorry. What possible reason did the real killer have to swap cards in the victim's hand? Lies. Perhaps you can show us a reason why such a thing would be necessary.
How can I show something I can't find myself?
Remember, Apollo, the card that was swapped out was the 5th ace.
The 5th ace, right.
Well, Mr. Justice, the question of why the killer would swap out a card has been raised. Can you point to a reason.
It has been raised. I
It's
see what
now
you did there,
or
Judge.
never.
Nice.
The defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why a card was swapped out.
Does anybody have evidence? Anyone?
Is there evidence in the house?
Evidence? I'll take someone named evidence.
Then go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the 5th ace? Oh!
Take that! My reason is, this.
What? Is that an ace?
In the hole.
Why? Why? It's got blood on it!
Blood!
Oh, right next to the spade!
Borscht. It's borscht.
It's borscht.
$1,000 says it's borscht.
This
Right
is not
next to
Klingon
the
blood.
spade, too.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This is insane! Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be? Could this be the missing 5th ace?
No. Why is it a 5th ace?
Inconceivable!
Sorry, no, I couldn't help.
Say it again with that word. Inconceivable. How could you? What are you doing with that card?
Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset? Oh my god, Apollo, really? It's just a fishy card from some fishy girl.
Oh, that card. It's mine. That's his. I picked it up at the Borscht Bowl Club that night after the murder had occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are her stock in trade, after all.
No. Impossible. Unacceptable.
Unbelievable.
Incontributable. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud.
A fraud? How can you be so sure?
What?
I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. Allow me to elaborate.
This becomes a feral dog. Like,
What if this trace of blood was the reason?
I like how the trace of blood is this massive spot of blood in the middle of the card.
It's like the most perfect circle. Like
the reason for
the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime.
No, Miranda, this is like the most not true to life court that exists in any
totally exactly how it works.
like
this
not
is Japanese law right here.
Remotely. Oh my God, no, it is not.
Where are you going with this?
Take another look at the photo and at the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell to the floor. And the trickle of blood ran from his forehead down the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards? I suppose. Oh, no, that's not my line.
I suppose.
The killer then took the card to hide blood.
Objection! Regardless, that evidence is not permissible.
Oh?
Right. Regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer.
Wow.
You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence.
Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later.
When we're not in a court.
What's important now is that I've answered
place for that.
your question, sir.
What are you talking about?
You wanted to know why the killer would have taken a card from the crime scene. And now, I've told you. Salty. That one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence, you see.
Borscht.
Objection! This is baseless conjecture. Baseless, I tell you.
Objection! I don't know who objected. I think Phoenix did.
Everybody.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, there it is.
Yay!
Oh, I assure you, quite based.
Based Phoenix right.
We basted the hell out of it. What?
It's amazing, really, how a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo,
Yes.
try picturing the scene of the crime in your head.
Okay.
If you can.
All right.
Okay.
Let's start from the beginning. We have a man who's dead.
I see.
Whoa.
I see a wooden dummy.
Wow, things
And-
just got 3D.
Wow. Like, this is technology. Wow.
The murder took place in the hideout. The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table.
Yes.
And before the killer swapped a card out, there was a single card with a drop of blood on it in the victim's hand.
Okay.
Given this, there is one decisive problem with this scene.
Well, what is it? I'm kind of lost.
It's in black and white. No.
Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood on a card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit?
Uh.
The victims? The killers? The witnesses? The second witnesses?
The letter K.
And the number 3. This trial has been brought to you by.
It's got to be the person behind the window, because the guy behind the window couldn't see the card from his vantage point where the head was, right? Like, he would have had.
Isn't this about the drop of blood, though?
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, because it's about the drop of blood that doesn't. Yeah, who would not be able to have seen the drop of blood on the card as the decisive evidence? Or rather, actually, wait, I take it back. The only person who could have seen it would have been this guy, right? I guess because he would have been able to. This one couldn't because he wouldn't see where his head was. Like,
Who does number 2 work for?
Sorry.
And take that. The second witness's position is the problem.
The second witness. That would be Mr. Gavin, yes?
I'm waiting for someone to be like, oh, yes, so yes, so yes, he saw, oh, yes, he saw through the window. No.
The second witness's position is far less problematic than yours right now, Justice. Or perhaps perilous is a better word.
Ugh.
Like your job. And fired.
I cannot see what the bloodstained card has to do with the second witness's location. I'm afraid you're more than in peril of a penalty
I
this
told you it wasn't that one.
Wow. Your Honor, one more chance, please.
I suppose. Do think it over, Mr. Justice.
All
Let's
right,
keep it simple, shall we?
Right.
Given that there was a drop of blood on a card,
See, that's the thing. Like, they started out by saying because there was a drop of blood.
whose position in this diagram does not fit?
Oh, does not fit.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to hint at earlier. It's about who's not. Given
Right.
the drop of blood on the card, where was the card? Okay, so it
Behind
wouldn't
his
have.
head. It was on the floor behind his head. At least that's what they.
Right, but wasn't this the fifth ace though that supposedly was taken out?
But remember, it had to have the blood drop on it somehow, and they
Because they already said it was in his hand. Before this, that's what Phoenix said. The card was in the victim's hand,
Oh,
Right.
and then it was taken because it had blood on it post murder. I would think it would be the witness.
I'm still confused as to what.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're asking for.
Yeah. What is the
So the idea
ability to
is that-
see?
So I guess the idea is there's a drop of blood on the card, and if you know that's the case, then which of these can't be on this drawing in this space? If you know that there's a drop of blood on the card. I mean, one thing that would occur to me is if the ace was in front of him, then and the drop of blood was going behind his head, then it would have to
Mhm.
land on a card behind him, right? Which suggests
Then it
the
would-
victim would not be in that spot, as if he was moved.
I was gonna say maybe it was the killer because
Mhm.
Great.
The
So we
killer-
have plausible theories for all of them. That's great.
I think it's the victim also, because they made a big point out of the blood dripping backwards over the head, and then the card was in his hand, so it made no sense that the.
I don't know. I still like the number 2 just because it's a cool color.
Let me try the victim. No, I get more than one chance, but I'd like to get this one. Take that! Well, isn't it the victim's position that's the problem?
I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice.
Well, look, the victim was struck on the head, sending him back in his chair. Do you think any blood would fall behind the body, not onto the table in front of him?
Oh!
I think you got it.
Take a look at the photo again. If he bled in this position, the blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards. Yeah, okay.
Why, that's right. So what does this mean?
I don't know.
Absolutely nothing.
Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs.
Swivel chairs.
Swivel
This
chairs?
is only coming out now.
Oh, man, exactly. Oh, there's so much in this where it's just like, haha, like, oh, man.
Apollo, try turning the chair around.
Wait, recreate the triangle. What?
And while you turn the chair, sing "You spin me right round, baby."
The chair was facing the other way, so that's
Mhm.
okay. But how did he hit him? What?
The chair was facing the other way.
It would have to be. So we have to assume that at the time of the murder, the victim's chair was facing away from the table.
Plot convenience. Right, Giga?
There's got to be a reason that he was plotting away.
When Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing?
When I came back to the room, the body was facing as seen in this photo.
That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Like a record baby, right round, right round.
Let's take the next step. Look at the diagram once more. Mhm. We know now the victim was facing away from the table at the time of murder. But this creates another significant contradiction.
Again!
Poor Bane.
Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we?
Oh, great.
Apollo, whose location on this diagram contradicts our next understanding of the crime? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses?
The chats.
The chats.
Lies,
The
lies,
chat's
lies.
contradiction. Whose location creates a contradiction if the victim was facing away?
The killer.
I think the killer, because
If he turned away, he hit him on the front of the head, not the back.
right, because the witness would still, because Christoph would still be able to see his bald head even there, right? And the witness would still be able to see this also. He couldn't see bald head, his head was tilted back. Yeah, but he wasn't tilted far back enough for him not to be able to see it. You'd think that from his position, which is elevated, that he could probably see it still. The question really is the killer. I love it. The idea is the victim. Nope, the victim's right. It just swivels around and just keeps going. I think it's the killer. I don't totally know why, but take that. The victim was struck from the front, correct?
Yeah, you got it.
Indeed. Well,
Well,
wouldn't it be hard for the oh no, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front? Sitting where his indicator currently is?
I would think it'd be quite hard, yes.
Oh, no, okay. It's Ben.
Yes! But what you're saying makes no sense!
It's like every so often the connection is made in Payne's brain.
Hey,
He's
there
just
you
like,
go, Payne.
wait, I know this.
All of this is true, but you're wrong.
Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game?
I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light.
Oh, good.
What? Efficient? Sufficient? What? What?
You see, I haven't talked about the trained monkey in the closet behind
Hiding
him.
in the cabinet.
We need more withheld evidence to come to light before we can actually solve this.
And now, there is something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually.
Oh, God. Good.
Look again at the diagram. Apollo, if the victim was struck while he was sitting, as shown here, where would his assailant be standing?
Inside the closet.
Try marking it on the diagram.
This game really should be called Apollo
What?
Justice Burying the Lead.
But there's no room to put a mark where the killer should be.
Don't worry. Let's think it through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing towards the wall at the time of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else.
Oh, don't worry, I already have.
Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our foe?
I mean, there. The killer had to be standing, well, here!
Objection! You get points for flair, but that's all you get?
I thought I was onto something there, too.
I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. As in Mission Impossible, only Tom Cruise could do it if he floated with the string and the down. The victim is facing a solid cupboard, or
with the pate.
And the paint. Are you claiming the killer climbed to the cupboard, and hit him from above? Ha!
It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means at the very moment of the crime.
Wait, I know. At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there.
Whoa. First swiveling chairs,
What's going on right
then
now?
a weird wizard girl adopted by
Your
Phoenix
Honor,
Wright.
the cupboard was animate, and it moved by itself.
It was a mimic. What's this now? Oh, goodness
This whole
gracious.
crime took place in the Beast's cabin.
That is the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin?
I don't even know anymore.
Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. You should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately.
Bailiff
Of course, that's what I was thinking.
and the team to the crime scene immediately.
That's what
Yes, sir.
bailiffs do.
They all like elevate
Get in the
from the
squad
floor.
car. Our bailiff is driving.
Have them try to move the cupboard.
What?
Your Honor,
What are you talking about?
What?
there's one more thing your men should look for. Please, give this to the bailiff.
It's a love letter.
Mhm.
Just concealed evidence. No big deal. We'll talk about legal matters later.
I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright.
I do my best.
What?
He does his best, yes, we love it.
Call me Papa, like it says on my hat.
But let's forge ahead here while we
So the courtroom is just cleared of the bailiff and all cops, so they can go and try to clear this cupboard. Out of
just
the
gotta-
way! Like, run down. Like,
keep moving here.
So he
Papa
can like
says
punch
forge ahead.
Papa says forge ahead.
Look at the diagram.
Mama says
again.
knock you out.
All right. Look at the diagram once again. It's been changed. Eyes. If the killer was standing here at the time of the crime, then this cupboard wasn't here, which means
I love you, chat. It just cracks me up.
Apollo.
It's on the ceiling.
Try moving the cupboard with
Well,
your
I'm
mind.
not with a bailiff. I can't do that. Oh,
Oh,
it blocks the window.
Thank you for moving that in your mind's eye.
I was gonna say, how does he even know? I'm like, he's like,
As you see, the cupboard was the problem.
let me work on it.
At the time of the murder, it has been as shown here.
As it's doing, you hear the music from Empire Strikes Back. Da, 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 da,
I was gonna say he's Apollo Muad'Dib.
I would watch that.
Oh gosh.
As it is here.
Now everything. Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait, now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my.
Oh my!
What's this feeling I have in my chest?
What is it now?
I'm just so freaked out.
I think it's called justice.
Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more.
Meanwhile, Paige is in the fetal position, like.
Once more. It appears we've found yet another contradiction.
This is the worst.
Which makes the entire front end of this game garbage. What I believe to be the final contradiction.
What is this?
In fact,
this is literally the writers are like, whoops, like writing
we
around.
forgot something. We didn't actually know who killed who.
We reverse engineered this wrong.
Huh? Oh dang!
Notice something,
Oh my
Apollo?
god.
In my mind's eye, I sure do,
Yes.
Phoenix.
Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion.
Yes, of course.
I might explode.
Now then, Mr. Justice.
Yeah.
Please point to the new contradicting indicator
Am I just
on your diagram.
on my head?
Right there.
Yeah, because he's just picturing the diagram.
Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness?
This time it is a second witness because I can't see.
11ties, dinner, supper.
Which, yes.
The contradiction is number 2, right?
It's got to be 2, yeah, because now I can't see.
Yeah, you can't see what happened.
Take that! Oh, sorry. About this cupboard. Are we all okay with assuming it was moved?
Sure, why not? That seems logical in my reasoning.
Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard, I mean, no. The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs. That's right. Someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
What? What did you say?
I said lies.
Lies.
Oh, is the coolest defense in the West hypothetically losing his cool?
Nope.
I'm gonna strangle you to death with my perfect hair. Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right?
It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. I have a t-shirt that says that. And someone was, while the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. Wasn't actually a full sentence. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain it to the court. Exactly. Where did you witness the crime from the scene of from? Whatever that line was.
Oh, the bailiff.
Oh my God.
Russ, you're the bailiff.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Order. This is a court of law, and I will have order.
We got a flat tire on the way to the scene of the crime, and I only had a donut, so we had to drive at like 15 miles an hour, and then needed sandwiches to feed the team of investigators from the gallery of the court. We just received word from our investigative team at the Borscht Bowl Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor.
Oh, and what did they find?
Lies.
Well, Your Honor, I don't know how to say this, but turns out there's a secret passage behind.
What?
Of course. Secret passages. Oh, lies. Yes. I believe I mentioned something of the sort before.
You did?
This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about.
I do remember him saying something about that now that he mentions it.
A secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal going-ons, if you guys didn't all know. I never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law.
In a courtroom.
These eyes. These eyes. So the room has a secret passage. Where does it go?
The porta potty. The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses could get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Just like our killer. Yes, Papa says yes. You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo?
I see it, but I don't believe it.
You're not the only one.
That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked and the victim's hat was only off his head for the few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something.
Dare I ask what really, actually, factually happened that night?
Actually, I think we can probably figure it out ourselves at this point.
Can you?
That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with Destiny. There he crouched, Destiny, hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it.
Oh! Crash bang! Eek!
Why did you do that? Wait here, I'll get help.
Miss
Get to the
Oldham,
chopper! No!
Get to the chopper. No way!
I
will
knew
not
it. It
shoot
was Arnold
innocent
Schwarzenegger.
people.
That's
Miss
the missing-
This whole time.
was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith.
Where's the Terminator?
But his time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage and into the hideout.
Oh, the victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside.
Oh, he wheeled his chair around to look and...
After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized he needed to destroy the evidence. That single spot of blood told the whole story of this crime.
Too bad for him he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red! Oh!
Oh no!
He moved his hair.
Red. Did you see his swoop his hair?
Red.
Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn.
And will now never end.
I'm truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. You've always been kind of a...
Asshole.
Yeah.
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Payne.
Yeah! Yes. Yes, I'm just trying to wrap my tiny mind around everything that's transpired, Your Honor.
Payne, how do you not have like 1,000 hernias?
He probably does. I mean...
The prosecution. The prosecution. The prosecution
I'm the prosecution.
will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion. Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately.
What?
Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself.
Gross.
It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand.
Your point, Mr. Gavin.
Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick?
Excuse
God,
me?
this is the never-ending trial.
Really?
This is basically these games.
The defendant.
Yep.
The defendant is cleared of all suspicion.
The final twist is where he's like, "I'm Mr. Right." Like it turns out.
It's been me the whole time.
Been me the whole time.
Actually, I'm a broom. No, sorry. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else.
Uh-oh.
And not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney.
Illegal evidence?
Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin, is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing?
Of course. This bottle, for instance.
The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking.
How do you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? And not just any fingerprints. Am I right, Mr. Payne?
Actually, yes. The fingerprints on the bottle upside down.
I seem to recall this being an issue earlier.
The court and this case demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down.
Chugging.
We are drinking.
And that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle.
Oh, what a feeling.
Well,
You're drinking
Your
on the
Honor?
ceiling.
Are you done meditating?
How is he? When does he get?
This is not the time to do hot yoga, Judge.
The guy in the head. When does he get the bottle?
When the whole thing happens with the battle.
He did say he picked the bottle up and put the card in it. Maybe he just like held it funny.
Yeah, that's true. That was how he was fitting it in there, right? Because he had.
Yeah, he might have held it like awkwardly to put the
Yeah.
card in.
Yeah.
Ah, see how the codfish squirms to the last. Well, Apollo.
Yes. I love how Paul's just like, what am I doing? What?
Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation. Just like that.
Yeah. Just like what? Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to gulp?
Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one.
Is there really another?
Take another look at the court record. I believe you'll find a simple answer there, in plain sight.
Let's bring up the diagram again.
How about you just say the answer in plain words?
You don't learn anything that way.
You
Would
must
be
play the
hasty.
game.
It would be hasty to deliver a verdict without, or with unanswered questions, indeed.
But
Finish the game!
It would be even hastier for my daughter, who's now way past her bedtime. Yes, so go ahead and show your picture.
No.
And explain what it is. Can you...
Nice.
Yes.
So that's her.
Cool.
The shoes.
Other way. You need to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see him.
Well,
Go in front of your face.
He's
No.
using
He's
a.
using the other.
Oh, the other
I'll go
cam.
to you now.
Yeah.
I'll go to you guys next. Just there's...
Oh, nice.
Very good. I like it.
Nice,
Yes.
baby.
Shoes is the best part.
Yeah, right. Shoes are always the best part.
And now, bedtime, sweetheart. We're going to get ready. So, Chad, say goodbye to little Arv.
Night night.
I know.
Bye.
we
Goodbye,
tried to-
little
Bye.
She's like,
One
finished the
day.
piece already. Yep, I agree.
So can I curse again now?
Yes, you'll be able to. You'll be Arv's
I'm
sister.
kidding.
Okay. Was hasty to deliver a verdict, blah, blah, blah. Yes.
Yes. Well, Mr. Justice.
Mr. Gavin said that the court and this case demand an explanation. Don't worry. Justice won't leave until justice is done. Yeah. What's up?
Perhaps the defense would like to, or would care, or would like to, enlighten the court. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on the bottle are upside down?
No, they just stick fingers. Okay, what evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints in the bottle are upside down? I'm guessing... Alright, well, the card could be part of it.
And you said review which piece of evidence? The court case?
Yes, the court record, which is this. Like,
okay, the whole thing's
thing
considered
is
the court record.
record, so it could be any of those.
I mean, the bottle is tipped over on the table, yeah.
You can also go find her, honey, because I think she's downstairs. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. You can go out of this.
Oh, there were bottles in the other picture too. The one of the two of them sitting there on the floor. Like you would reach to grab like down to pass a bottle.
That's...
The darkness has arrived.
Alright, bear with me 1 second, Chan.
You must guide her through the darkness, as any great father would.
Hi, chat. How you guys doing? How's life, the universe, and everything? As Arv would say himself. Oh, I have to do this.
One does not face the mines of Moria alone.
Life is good and also full of lies.
So many lies.
That's funny. Someone holds bottles like that guy that handed Techno Viking his water bottle. I don't know which one of these it is.
I mean, I would say check. Okay, because if it's on the table, he had no reason to reach over for an empty bottle, which means the first photo, the one of them sitting there talking, they were full and then it's empty. So he probably reached down. Like, can you look at that photo? There's bottles by his right hand side. He would have reached down with his hand backwards to pick up the bottle and hand it.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. They're sitting down there, so he reaches down to the bottle. Yeah, that's why it would be the upside down.
The upside down, because he reached down behind him, beside him. Because I think the next one, the bottle's empty, so he'd have no reason to reach across to grab it upside down.
I think you're right. It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. That's usually a good sign, that smile.
Mm-hmm.
Place that bottle on the floor next to your chair. Yep, you're right. Good call.
Excuse me. Bottles on the floor. That's heinous.
Happy birthday to the ground, Your Honor. Yes. Now reach down and pick it up. Without getting out of your chair. This will be used after. See? You naturally go to pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers upside down!
Upside down! Upside down.
Look at this photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times.
Wow. I can't believe it's not butter. And that it was that simple.
It's not, I'm sure.
Never is.
Yep.
Recall our dinner that evening, Christoph. I was drinking my usual juice then, too.
I'll bet. Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed, but then you must have remembered. So you went and picked up one of the bottles from under the piano, and you switched the bottles. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon.
Oh my god.
Order. What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin?
I really don't like Phoenix Wright's hat. Fascinating. I'm not going to call you Papa. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection.
What?
You claim that I switched the bottle? Where is your proof?
Proof? Well,
Oh
that's,
God, it's a courtroom.
That's
Never done that before. That's a first.
Any more evidence you're hiding, Apollo? As I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty.
no. Hearsay. Objection. Oh wait, that's Phoenix.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor. I feel like I need to play him with one of those like thick Southern accents. He's just so like smoozy. When you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier,
Like a Matthew McConaughey type of
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
yeah. Do you recall I requested an additional
goodness.
investigation?
Yes, I have your memo about that here.
Great.
It's called the plot part coming later memo.
Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Bowl Club.
Mm.
And here's one of the bottles in question.
What are you going to do? Dust that for fingerprints too? I would be surprised if any were on that, but his.
Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything.
Say, Apollo.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh God, I'm still here.
I declare, why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle?
Oh, because he switched it. Another one's going to have the card.
Yeah.
But why?
And now I reveal my true accent.
Just humor me.
Mr. Right.
The bottle will solve this case once and for all.
What?
My God, Phoenix, what was in that grape
That's some
juice?
bottle.
Absinthe.
Time to examine.
This is all absinthe.
Uh-huh.
Grape absinthe.
There it is.
Like Dimetab or something?
There's something inside the bottle. There's a message in a bottle.
Is it the plot?
yeah, we could really use that right now.
I think he just gets it out, no problem. Like, okay. 5 of hearts in a bottle. What's this?
That card. It can't be.
Recall the unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment.
Five
Miss
of plots.
Olga O'Reilly?
Yes, our little swindling debauch.
Oh, wow. Well, bam. Phoenix with the knowledge.
Ooh. Which one is? Oh, that night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand, just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed.
Well, wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card and put on this hat before the game.
Disposed, Papa. Where?
Where all good papas disposed.
Can you hear me?
Bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle.
Side
Rude.
note, how many people drink, like, full bottles of grape juice? Like,
The
it's just,
amount
like going to,
of-
like...
So much indigestion. So much
God.
indigestion.
Right?
I threw the card inside the bottle.
I drink like one glass of Welch's and I'm like done for a year.
You know?
Right?
Blah.
Oh, the 5 of hearts. This is the card. The bottle were swapped. And the only one who could have done this was the fourth person in the club that night.
With the force push, moving the cabinet.
You Chris off, Gavin.
He's actually Darth Sidious.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, he actually...
Oh!
Oh, he actually...
What a-
Oh, he
Oh!
actually...
Force
Darth
shot.
Sidious. What the heck?
You spilled the borscht. I saw it.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus, Holy Mary, Mother. What?
And that was how the third impact happened.
That is all. And this is why my little face on my hat looks so surprised.
This is why it does the here endeth the lesson.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
you are welcome for me teaching you something.
Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright?
Revenge?
Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago.
My past is like my logic. Straight and true.
Nice line.
And firm. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction.
Finger of justice.
I don't want to talk about your finger of justice, but let's move on.
Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right?
Oh no.
He's bugged out.
Russ is caught in serious face.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he.
We hear you though.
Yeah.
What is all this? What's happening?
Oh God, he's a child.
There you go. You're
Oh
good.
my God! There was a child in my briefcase.
He was actually in labor the whole time.
I'm a father.
You can't
This
submit
is how
anymore.
long this trial is taking.
You can't submit anymore. That's illegal evidence.
Will I get to prosecute anymore? Anyone?
Oh, here's a child in a briefcase.
I don't know what to do.
I believe this time we've finally come to the end of our trial.
God almighty.
Don't say it unless you mean it. Don't break my heart.
No.
Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin?
He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest right now. I took like 7 Tums during our break.
I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None that we know of.
That means that he was like his dad. Like he has like the perfect
This is the part
connection.
he isn't describing.
Mr. Wright, have you anything to add?
Just that my hat's awesome. I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter.
About this victim, Mr. Shady Smith.
He's dead. Let it go.
His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd
His surname
profession.
Blues.
It's better than hobo.
An odd profession, to be sure, and that's all we know about him.
The original theme to this was Once Upon a Midnight Dreary I Walked into.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor, if I survive the week.
I was gonna say that'll be great. Like bang up work there. We can get the
Good.
bailiff to help you.
Mr. Wright?
Yes.
7 years. And you still haven't lost your touch.
It's the finger. I mean, Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer.
He was extremely talented, to be sure.
I needed 2 things before I could confront him. First was a place where no injustice would be tolerated. This courtroom, Your Honor.
Courtroom. Nut jobs, but not intolerant. Injustice.
Yeah. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. You, Your Honor. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo.
Me?
Mm-hmm. A dark time is coming for our legal system.
Wow.
What?
A twisting of justice brought on by our very own court
This
system.
is like the Marvel MCU, right? Like this is completely setting up for, you know, Endgame, Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney.
Is
I've seen
it the part of the court system where they actually present evidence at the start of the trial? 'Cause
Right, all at the beginning, yeah.
it's a really dark time.
Regardless, we have to set it right.
Mr. Wright.
Mm-hmm. Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it.
Well, it seems like a good time to announce a verdict.
I mean, it doesn't really, but I'm confused and troubled.
You all suck. Get out of my courtroom.
This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, guilty of all charges.
Not guilty! Woo!
Guilty of
Yeah!
Oh,
no, not guilty.
He's
not guilty. Lies, lies, lies.
I love his beanie.
Court is adjourned.
I love you, Papa.
God, I have to get a selfie. April 20th, 4:28 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3.
I completely screwed that up. I kept trying to press stop, so it just kept as you were talking going ding 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 ding. Just like, oh god. Well, it happens.
There it is. Thanks, Apollo. I really needed your help today.
No, he's not guilty.
He's not guilty. You can sleep well tonight, little one.
That's true.
That's funny.
You came through just like I thought you would. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there.
Oh no, you weren't responsible for any. Does
any
anyone
of
know
it.
what the hell this picture is in the back of him? Is this gonna become important later? Like,
That's the actual killer.
That's the
my name is Rasputin, and I will dominate.
I'd
the
like to
light
submit
of-
new evidence to the court.
judge. That's the judge.
I am Sauron. That's the judge.
Why is he green?
Well, you know, lighting and such, but he's a bald man with a giant white beard. I think that's the judge.
Or he's Rasputin. But yeah.
It's like the teacher from Dragon Ball Z or something.
It was you who cornered Mr. Kev.
It's. Oh wait, no. This is Apollo speaking.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, I beg your pardon. It was you who cornered Mr. Gav, the killer.
I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your ability.
The Force.
Ability?
You're
Yes.
a Jedi. You're a wizard, Harry.
A sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough.
There is another Skywalker.
Soon you'll be able to fill cupboards with your mind too.
Wait, I wonder if he means
the Force.
I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Is oh.
Hey, there he is. There he is. There he is.
Has returned.
You there?
His name is.
His name is ISP frustration.
Suck a butt.
We all, as we were looking at the line, then we all looked up at you. We saw it froze, and then we saw you froze, and all of us simultaneously went, "No!"
All right, now we're back. There we go. Like I say, ISP about to get yelled at for about 5 straight hours.
They owe you like 6 months of free internet.
I mean, like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is utterly ridiculous. Anyway, so obviously there's something wrong. My guess is that probably either the modem is crapped out or there's something going on with the wires outside. Because
yeah,
the modem. I find it very hard to believe that it's the modem if it keeps doing that regularly. It's got to be a wire somewhere.
because it's just hard cutting out of nowhere.
Mhm.
Oh, is he frozen again?
It's
He
just
is.
no.
Oh
I'm
no,
not.
he's not.
No, I'm
You were
not.
like
I'm
very,
still
very still.
Well, no, because I'm just looking at it right now. Because it's no. I mean, the thing is, it just basically the internet goes out and then it just starts up again. Like so.
Mm.
I don't know.
Don't worry, Russ's child is troubleshooting it right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All over.
All right,
That's what
on
it
we
seems
go.
like.
I think it's this one.
Oh, the names are filled up again. Awesome. All right, let me just give me just.
You know what? Let's just roll.
Not that
with
I was about to say, not that it even matters at this point. Do we even know who we are anymore?
I don't know. You guys know our names, right?
Fortunately, it does not. Take
I am
long,
Little Red
guys.
Dot.
I'm Zach.
That seems appropriate.
Everyone's back where they should be. Huzzah! Okay.
What's Yep. Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah, exactly, Gigafrost.
we love you too.
Okay, here we go.
They said they love you too.
All right.
Cute. Oh,
right.
of
Okay.
course it's true.
Wait,
It's
what?
this weird vibe I'm getting. What was that, Mr.
Spidey
Right?
sense.
You'll have to find the answer out to that question yourself. It's
Stop
called
telling me that.
Puberty.
Fuck off.
The answer, right? Today was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin.
What possible reason could he have to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come.
Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you?
This locket is the key.
Huh? Well, that reminds me, I met the girl whose picture is in your locket.
Oh.
Your daughter, right?
That's right. She's my daughter. I think I told you that. You know, you were right about this locket.
Eh?
I took this off his neck the night he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him.
Wait, but that's perjury. You testified. You said that locket was yours.
Don't worry,
I
this courtroom has no rules. Fuck it.
I said no such thing, actually.
Huh?
I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless.
Mhm.
And it's the truth. Kind of. Wait, but then...
Wait,
Oh, nope.
but then why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside it? What is reality? What is love? What is all this?
Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time.
Oh, God, you suck.
You're still just getting started with your career.
You've got so much more of the game to play.
I mean, speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Office, after all. Still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs.
Apollo,
Yes?
how about coming to work for me?
Eh? You mean at the Wright and Company law offices?
I do. I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't. I'm sorry.
There's not, because it's not you, Mr. Wright. I'm supposed to say that. You're a different generation.
Stop reading
entirely.
my mind.
There's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it.
I can't imagine that to be true, but
Wait, but didn't you? You're not a.
oh, I turned in my badge. Yes, I'm not an attorney anymore. But I am rich.
That incident 7 years ago. That legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man, Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion, and he left law for good.
Mm-mm.
Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts?
I'm just not ready to start dressing in suits again. Not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence.
Forged evidence? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick.
One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. It just seemed, well, too perfect. Oh, the ace.
Your beanie.
I'll bet this was the forged evidence. Take that! You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright.
Yes, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Well, because the killer took it with him when he left. leaving the wrong card in its place. Lucky for us.
The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud.
A fraud? How could you be so sure? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago.
Then you really...
Yes, I forged this card. It's my own blood. One looked at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real.
But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney.
Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo?
So it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago.
None of that matters much now, does it?
Garg!
Wait, what?
I punched him. What?
There's a lot of ellipses right now. It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. Oh, no. My office's address. Drop in if you'd like.
Mr. Wright.
Oh, about your uppercut. Try yelling, "Take that!" next time. I find it packs a little bit more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time.
So, is he implying that Gavin admitted to a crime because of evidence that he forged? Is
Yes.
that what
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
And
knew
probably-
that was how he proved he was guilty.
And he must have done the same thing 7 years before that, and it must have been one of those deals where, like, he's right that the guy was guilty, but he got to it the wrong way. And
Yeah.
and with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my summer vacation, no, that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved, and at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day connected by a single thread of logic.
Forging evidence.
I'd find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins.
Woo, yeah.
The end. Yeah, case number 1.
Origin story. We did it.
God.
Yes, I want
We
to save
did
my
it.
progress.
We did it.
We did it.
And we only made one obvious mistake.
Dora.
So it looks like episode 2 is where you actually met Trucy. All right, so now a quick check-in. So we were supposed to be up until 12:30. It's 12 o'clock now. Do you want to get started on the next case and then about 25 minutes and then stop? Or what?
That's up to you.
I mean, the thing is, since we've had stops multiple times, I kind of feel like I'd like to because I'm annoyed that it keeps stopping. But it's up to you guys.
I've gotta go because I've been
I
left.
feel like we should stop here.
Do you want to stop between?
Yeah, we can have a clean start next time.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. That makes sense.
Oh, am I gonna get to play the really? It's totally Sailor Moon inspiration.
I'm guessing. I mean, I think it seems logical to me. Yes, I would assume so.
At least I don't have to play the guilty man or the really corrupt, strangely corrupt attorney man.
Yes, I would say that that's 100% true.
But
you will be able to.
But Dot, you were so good at it.
It's great. I worked really hard. I've been really internalizing the role.
It was something that you prepared for a long time.
Long time.
Here's the forging evidence.
Oh my God, yeah. It's one of those things too. Is that as you go through, you're just kind of like, wait, what? And then they do tie all of it together. But
Yeah, it does make sense at the
There are a
end.
lot of loose ends that they spend a lot of time before they start tying them all up.
Yeah.
So it's. I
How
love
long
the
is
fact.
this game? Because I thought it was just going to end after what we just did.
No. Well,
No, it's like 6 cases.
That's only 20% done. I think it's
Oh,
like
wow.
5 cases. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Cool.
mean, the thing is that like they're crazy. Like when he sends the bailiff, I was just like, really? You're sending the bailiff to go move the cupboard to prove like
So good.
what are we even doing? Oh man. And the lies thing, chat, was just precious. I was like, it's lies. Anyway.
I see another beautiful blonde-haired man to play in the third
Yeah.
episode.
Yes.
I think I'm. Yeah. I'm just doomed to play Men that look way better than I do. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. That's a curse I can live with.
Oh man, it was good, Rob. It was quality work. Yeah, the end.
Oh no, he was really fun to play because he was kind of like. Well, we can talk about the end.
He was
Sorry.
he was such a smarmy little, like, yeah. I'm going to be interested to hear what you think about that in a minute. But before I get there, I want to thank everyone in chat for having watched with us. You guys were awesome. It was a great time, and I'm so sorry about all the ridiculous internet crap outs. Trust me, I'm about to go yell at my ISP for a long time. But I will start, before I do all of that, with gentlemen at the bottom of the screen who managed the increasingly stunned judge more and more with every sort of step along the way. It was really
What?
I like he was just like reaching levels of like, what is this? But how'd you feel about today, Zach? And where will the lovely folks see you next?
I love this game so much, and even though I've never seen any of the actual Phoenix Wright games, this I feel like I already can guess and get an idea of like Phoenix Wright's character before.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. And as we were going through this, I was thinking, man, if this was a play, like an actual play, I would go and watch it. And I think people would be interested to see it. It has that kind of funny comedic flair to it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Apollo Justice on Ice.
Yeah.
There is actually a movie that was done of the original Phoenix Wright that was live action. And I've only seen like little clips of it. It was obviously in Japanese, but you can get it in English subtitles. And yeah, it's nuts. It's very anime. Like this is probably as close to anime as I get. Either this
That's
or
kind of why I love doing the voices for these characters.
Yeah. It's either this or Trails in the Sky is the most anime I get, but it is a lot of fun. I find. But you did great. It was wonderful stuff. And where will the lovely people see you next, sir?
The lovely people will see me next on my channel, twitch.tv/Zach Clay. I will be streaming. I stream a lot of RPGs and emphasis on the RP. So World of Warcraft stuff, sometimes Minecraft, which I've been playing longer than its resurgence recently.
Mm-hmm. You were there when it was Death Cab for Cutie was cool.
I was there when you had no hunger in the game.
But yeah, so yeah, just all sorts of random stuff. And then soon enough in a fantasy novel audiobook coming out very soon.
That's super awesome. Very exciting. Zach, of course, is very talented. You will also, of course, see Zach on Esper Genesis. Of course. We believe that what we've got coming up here is probably going to end up being the 23rd, which I think Zach said that he could make, and the 30th, that was a Friday, and then the 30th was an uncertain, I have to double check, but we will get Zach in for one Esper Genesis session at least this month, and then again, starting in September, we'll have to sort of sort things around. I should point out as one programming note, by the way, to everybody that to accommodate Zach's school schedule and other things, we're probably going to be moving the Arvocalists to a Friday, but to accommodate Rob, because we don't want to do back-to-backs of both this and Infinity and Beyond, which is usually Saturday, we're going to probably have to do them on alternate weeks. So we will figure it all out such that Rob is accommodated and Zach is accommodated. But we probably are going to have to do that because I certainly don't want to not have Zach be in it anymore, and I want us to keep doing this once a month. So we will figure out something to make it happen. But in all likelihood, we're going to be moving to one Friday a month. But we will talk more about that, and we'll address it and get all the details. And you'll stick with us, and I'll be fine. But thank you, Zach. Always a pleasure. Great stuff tonight. And that continues to move us up the line to Dot, who did a great job with. See, Phoenix became this lot of this character. Starting next time, you'll be able to do more of the Sailor Moon thing, and maybe but
perfect.
You got to play.
I'll start internalizing that for next time.
Yeah. No, I mean you got to play Papa this time. How'd you feel about today, and where will the lovely folks see you next?
Well, I mean, I got dreams are fulfilled when you get to play Papa, and your hat says it. So there's that. No, as always, I had a blast, and I always forget how much fun we have doing this and how bad I need to laugh before it happens. So, but I'm Little Red Dot. I'm a GM and a digital storyteller. You can find me as Little Red Dot on pretty much any social media and streaming platform. You catch me in a couple places, including the North by Northwest podcast, the Roll For It Network here, more and more and more. Every time I pop up, Arv's like, one more, just one more, just one more. So lots of places you can catch me. And currently, I'm in a little bit of a much needed 2-week break, but the season kicks back off on my channel next Tuesday. We're bringing back the second season of Witch Girl Adventures, and then that'll be followed in September with the extension of the Scum and Villainy campaign, the Purloin Code, that I've been running.
Which is
so you can expect that.
Awesome stuff. And yeah, I try to stop by Dot's channel a couple times a week if I can, and at the very least lurk. You should do that. Dot's really an excellent GM and very talented and just a good person. Like, I really just enjoy the chemistry of this group, and Dot contributes very much to that and will contribute much to other groups in the future, he said archly. But yes, thank you so much, Dot. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks.
And moving right up on the line, I want to thank Russ's Baby for being a big part of the stream today. I mean, I think Russ's Baby was definitely proof that babies can have talent as well. No, Russ was awesome. I'm telling you, man. Every time you geared up for pain, everyone was just like, wait for the laugh, yep, there it is. Every time, like, it was, man, you were like made to play this dude. Unfortunately, you will have chance to play many other characters because I don't know when Pain's coming back, but man, it was fun to see.
I could get off doing a Bronx accent for 3 hours.
How'd you feel about tonight? Where will the lovely folks see you next?
It was a tremendous amount of fun. I enjoy this game, even with its crazy twists and turns. I would love doing a live theater adaptation of this video game.
So
That'd
good.
be so dope.
And hardcore fanboys of Ace Attorney that are out there.
God, so good.
Actually, I forgot to plug one thing, which is that this guy is on Animal Kingdom tonight on TNT. So if you see the new episode of that, which came out at 9 p.m. tonight, you can see this little guy in there. Other than that, doing 2 shows at Second City a month. I'll be at Acme Comedy in North Hollywood in the Arts District on Saturday night, doing an Armando there. And then our long form show, the show that shall not be named, the Harry Potter Improv Show, is first Fridays and second Saturdays also at Acme in North Hollywood. Drunkers and Dragons, third Tuesdays at the Pack Theater in Hollywood, and other improvs in between also.
Good stuff, man.
You're a busy man.
Yes, a busy man, and very talented as well, and a longtime friend. So thanks, Russ. Good stuff, man. And I will catch you soon. Again, you can check Russ and myself and Story out on themepreport.com if you want to hear more of Russ's comedy stylings. But I'll speak to you soon, my friend. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, of course, Rob, who got a chance to get his comeuppance as Gavin. You got to, finally the awesome hair was
never saw that coming.
Yeah, never saw that was going to happen at some point. But it was good stuff, man. I really enjoyed it. How did you feel about today, and where will the lovely folks see you next?
It was great. Gavin was a hoot to play. It was really fun because one of the other voices that I've done for this series in one of the other the Phoenix Wright games was playing Godot.
Yeah,
which was he was a much harder edged, much sterner, made of sterner stuff, lots of coffee. So it was, much more like my throat was usually exhausted by the time.
I wonder if he's Gavin's brother. I just thought about that. I don't know if we ever find out what his last name was.
Yeah, well, no, Gavin was his last name.
No, Gavin, but I'm saying, I don't know if we know what Godot. Unless his last name is just Godot, maybe.
And he's just waiting. So
yeah, exactly. Anyway,
anyway. But yeah, no, I mean, it was really fun to play that, play him sort of, a little bit lighter in that. I guess I hate to sort of call it like that cliche anime trope voice, but it's so synonymous with it, and it's just one of my bread and butter voices that I'm just so happy to do anytime, because then I can go to people and go see, here, hire me for this. I can do this. I can do this voice. I have this in my Swiss Army knife of voices to do. But yeah, that was a blast. That was a lot of fun. And I forgot what else I was going to say. So I'm just going to go on to the plugging stuff part of this whole bit. Thank you guys for watching, especially through all of the technical fnifs. And you guys are, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it as much as we are. If you guys want to see more of my shenanigans, you can check out my channel tomorrow night, probably starting around 9 p.m. That's twitch.tv/GC Darkside Rob. I'm GC Darkside Rob in most places. My Instagram is Darkside Rob. My Twitter is GC Darkside Rob. All my links are down below the screen in my channel. But I will be starting up a playthrough. Well, I've actually already started it tonight because I have been waiting for this game for so long I couldn't help it. Of Rebel Galaxy Outlaw.
Yeah, I saw I think, playing some of that.
This is actually the plane from No Man's Sky, but it looks the same, so I'm using it as a prop for that. And then I'm also going to be doing some live streams during the day this week, working on some music for my new album, which is coming out hopefully at end of September, which means I gotta get my toches in gear, as the Brooklyn group would say, on that one. The Sheepshead Bay crew, as they used to be now. That's not how they used to be now. And then I also do stuff on YouTube, and I will be back here on this channel on Saturday night for more Infinity and Beyond. For
Infinity and Beyond.
Infinity and Beyond.
I've never heard that term used anywhere before.
No, it's very, very new. Yeah.
Came up with that. It's very original. I like it quite a lot. And I look forward to more craziness with this game on this show, and I'm always pleased to be able to do it. So that's me. Thanks for chilling. And objection.
Thanks, Rob. And of course, you'll see Rob with with I and B and so on. You should definitely check out his streams. I'm looking forward to the live music streams from him as well, because that should be awesome. That is going to do it for them. So I'm going to let those lovely folks go, and then I will bid adieu to chat. So can we get some love, chat, from the amazing Arvocalists, from Rob, for Russ, for Little Red Dot, and of course for Zach Clay. Thanks.
This crew is fantastic, and they always leave me in stitches.
Always wonderful. Objected. Folks are awesome. Thank you all so much, and I will see you lovely folks soon.
Farewell.
Bye.
Bye.
And that is going to do it for the amazing Arvocalists for tonight. And I am, whoops, hold on. I'm not going to get completely out of there. There we go. I am going to get on out of here before it turns out that I'm, get to have this stopped again, which I don't want to have happen again. I am so sorry that we had to deal with that garbage, because I really, really have a blast playing this. I really do. And it just frustrates me no end that we were dealing with that garbage. Like, it really, really frustrated me. And I'm going to yell at my ISP a lot, because this should not happen. Especially when I talked to them before and I was getting the whole thing like, oh, maybe it's the router. No, maybe it's just you don't want to send out a tech. Now they're going to send out a tech. But in any case, we did get through it, so I'm glad about that. And I'm going to try to get this all fixed up by Friday. Yeah, no, I get it, man. But I have not had to deal with that here, and this should not be a problem for them at this point. Like, this, it's ridiculous. So anyway, we'll get it fixed. But this was lovely stuff from the Arvocalists. It was amazing, awesome, excuse me, wonderful stuff, and all that kind of good stuff. And I want to thank all of you people for sticking with us. You guys were awesome. That whole lies thing was so great. Oh man, every time I looked over and chat was doing that, I was just like, the greatest of all things. It's so awesome. So spread the gospel of lies, I guess is what I'm saying. But I want to thank everyone for being here. You all are lovely people. We are going to do a raid, and let me take a look and see who we've got here. Okay. Could do that. Let me see if this person is available. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, good. So I know who we're going to do, who we're going to raid. First of all, I want to remind everybody about ways to support the stream. If you haven't done so already, please follow the channel. That definitely makes a difference. Please check out my YouTube, !ArvTube, Discord, !ArvCord. Please check out the website, arvanelaron.com. Please check out my Twitter, !ArvTweets. Please, on the financial side, if you can support the shop, !ArvShop, you can get merchandise from Infinity and Beyond, and also Adventures of Middle-earth. And again, I got to see about maybe doing some Arvocalist merchandise in there too. Always a pleasure, Zach. Thank you, sir. And of course, the other ways to support me financially are that way, the Patreon, which really does make a difference. I pay the Arvocalists for their sessions every time they do them, and I don't pay them enough. Like, it's not nearly enough. And so I want to pay more, but I can't do that unless we get more support overall, which is not to say that you folks have not been supporting. You've been doing an amazing job. But the more we spread the word and let people know that the Patreon can get them some awesome benefits and can help the channel, that can help everybody involved. So supporting the Patreon would be awesome. And also, of course, subbing to the channel, which is that video, that sub button right above the right below the video window. We had a few of you folks resub or sub tonight, so thank you for those of you who have done that. Please spread the word, because doing that will make it possible for me to continue to pump that money back into both the channel and then also my writing, which ultimately benefits the channel as well. We are going to do a raid today, and the way the raids work are as follows. If you are not a sub, you're going to do this, the Arvonauts have landed, followed by Twitch raid, lowercase Twitch, uppercase raid. If you are a sub, you're going to do this, which is the Arvonauts have landed, followed by Arvin E hype, which is looks just like that. But the key is not to do this until you hear until my audio outro is completed. So just stick around basically, and then you will be brought over automatically with the power of Twitch raiding to go over and raid the person that we are going to raid in just a moment. I want to thank everyone who made this an awesome stream tonight. Oh, and just as a quick reminder, again, I will be back on Friday evening, probably with D&D with viewers, not Esper Genesis. I have to confirm. Again, it's hard because August is a thing. Scheduling in August is difficult. But I should be able to get something wrapped up in the next couple of days, and then I'll have that finalized for the rest of August. So in all likelihood, D&D with viewers, but we'll see. That would not be until Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you're interested in playing some D&D with me, it'll probably be D&D of some kind in all likelihood, then check that out on Friday. I want to thank everyone who made this an awesome stream tonight. Thank you to my wonderful mods, Aridinel and Dragonspear. Thank you to Aridinel for sticking with me through all of the streams today. Thanks, man. Did your bit for King and Country. Thank you as well to my subscribers, to Aridinel, to Dragonspear. Thank you to, these glasses are killing me. Thank you to Nordvol. Thank you to Rob. Amazing work, Rob, tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you to Coven Guy. Thank you to Gigafrost. Thank you to Mrs. Dunsel. Thank you to Red Lear. Thank you so much for that raid, Red Lear. I needed it, man, after the internet problems. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you to Angel of Light, to Bobby Mink. Thank you to Club Penguin Veteran. Thank you to Commander Root, Cycle Motion, Echo Alpha X5. What's up, Echo? Thank you to Foul, let's see, Fat Docs 8. Thank you to Host Me Raffle, Ibrahim C2000. Thank you to Carohem, Lurks, Mubat, Nedved, PKD Fan, Quiet Geek. Thank you to Sfaka. Thank you to you, Christensen, V&K, Virgo Praz, Windsock, and of course, Zach Clay. Again, thank you, Zach, for the wonderful work tonight. Thank you to Zach. Thank you to Rob. Thank you to Russ. And thank you to Little Red Dot. Great job from all of the Arvocalists, who are, in my opinion, the best vocal team on Twitch. So thank you, as always, for this awesomeness, and you will get more of it from everyone next month. But that's going to do it for me. I'll see you folks Friday for some D&D with viewers. Now I'm going to go yell at my ISP. Stick around for the raid, and everyone be good to each other. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon. See you soon. Have a good night.
Fresh and new, when it all seemed clear to you, when your aim was straight and true. Were your mind untroubled by the questions in the dark, content to play your part, open pathways to your heart? Were your life untainted by a host of broken dreams, when all your acts were queens, understood all that it means? Could you have understood the way your life was bound? Did you ever wonder how you got from there to now? Oh, yes, you're gonna fly away from here, where the sky grows more clear, and your problems disappear, drift away down below. Watch them go down to your friends, where the trouble never ends, and there's always just one more day left to go. Now through your pile of broken lies and your set of fake goodbyes, another cynical disguise. When will they catch you? All those